Okay, so far we discussed general topics from the first module, programming, different problem solving approach. Okay, so today our second part of the first module, introduction to Python programming. So we'll be doing our Python session from today onwards. You need your laptop with you or your mobile. Okay. From next class onwards. Possible will today itself will start with the simple little program. Okay, introduction to Python programming. So what is Python? Python എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it's a high level interpreted programming language. Okay, so interpreted means while at the time of editing itself, the compiler or the editor will suggest the error. Okay, probably this might be an error. That type of error recommendations will come in real time. Okay, that's what interpreter. Or we can say indeed it will execute the programming line by line. No need to go through all programming for compiling. It will compile your program line by line and just suggest the error. That's what error interpreter, compile interpreter, and or you will study in later. So Python, it's a high level language and created by Guido van Rossum in 1991, and it is open source. Okay, so no need to pay any money towards working with your Python. It is open source, freely available and maintained by Python Software Foundation. Object oriented, functional oriented, procedural programming, etc. That all concepts നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാവുന്നതായിരിക്കും. Cross platform compatibility, works seamlessly on Windows, Mac OS, Linux and other platforms like microcontrollers, like ESP series of microcontrollers and all. We can program with the Python and all. Okay, so it's a very popular programming tool. Okay, extensive standard library comes with numerous built-in modules and functions to perform common tasks. Okay, majority or most of the tasks are being assembled into different modules. Okay, managed by different teams, different software teams, and we can utilize them in our programming. No need to do the special program for those kind of libraries. We can just call those libraries into our program and we can use the functions from that library. Okay, it's called the modules. We can call them into our program and we can utilize their programming functions into our functions. So only we need to study their documentation. Okay, we'll study a few of the common libraries into how to utilize them in our programming. Okay, so dynamic typing. Data types are determined at runtime, making it flexible and easy to use. Okay, runtime typing means runtime live ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് എററും പ്രോബ്ലംസ് ഒക്കെ അത് പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കാണിക്കും. So interactive and easy to debug, provides an interactive interpreter for testing code quickly and support efficient debugging. Compared to C programming, you need to do all your programming part within your code segment in the main function. Then only once you finished with your close section of your main function, then only you can compile your program. Then only it will list all those programs. So at the beginning, at the initial stage of your programming, after entering all of your code into your main function, then you are just writing compile, just you are pressing compiling, then it will list some 10s to 15s and 20s of errors. Okay, so once you complete or debug the first line of error, maybe few of the errors will be removed itself. Okay, at the beginning, at the very beginning, it will list out say 10s to 15s or 100s of errors depending on your programming. But unlike the C programming and all, this Python programming is very easy because it will indicate the typing mistakes, typos and everything in the line itself. At the time of typing itself, it will suggest might be it's an error, so that the programmer can he will be noticed in well advanced before compiling. So cumulative growth of these errors will not be available or will not be a possibility in the Python programming. We'll see. Scalable, capable of handling small scripts to large enterprise level programming, small scale programming to high level programming, high sized programming, and also we can manage with your Python codes. Then how to install Python in your machine. Okay, so I'll be talking on a Windows platform. Corresponding platforms, corresponding method will be available in other platforms also, Linux and Mac OS. Okay, so how to install an Python in your machine? Just you go to the official websites of python.org.downloads. Okay, once you are into this website, you can see here Python 3.12.7, that is the latest version. Okay, just you download it as in the usual installation procedure in the Windows. You can proceed to next level by clicking next. Okay, nothing to do some kind of array setting at all. Only do next, and finally towards the finish stage. That will install Python in your machine. Okay, so latest version is 3.12.7 as of today, and if you want the a special lower version, that also is possible, and other versions also, Linux, Unix and Mac OS and other are also available, and also Docker you might be knowing, few of you might be knowing Docker. So Docker is a tool for testing or programming in other platforms. For example, I can test my Linux program or Linux part from my Windows by running a Docker. So Docker also, it's providable, it's available in the website. So we will be doing, or you need to download, if your platform is Windows, you need to download this Python for Windows. Okay, and once you finished your installation on your machine, you can test whether it is successfully installed or not. Just you open your terminal or command cmd, you type in cmd in your search or the Windows search area or the command terminal, or just open terminal itself, and just you type in space minus version, type Python space minus version. That will give you the installed version in your machine. I installed this in few years back, that's why it's 3.11.4. now it is 3.12.7. okay, it's okay, no matter. Fundamental or basic things and all is very common too. Okay, only some advanced features may not be available for the beginner. That might be enough. Okay, so whatever be the latest version available to you in your website, you can download it and utilize install in your machine. So after installation, you can check whether it's correct or not by just typing Python by space minus version. Okay, so installation is command prompt Python minus version. Then by Anaconda, you can install Anaconda in your machine. Anaconda is a very large size file. Okay, so if you install Anaconda, most of the very frequently used modules and environments and all variables will be all features will be added to your Python environment with this big Anaconda. So as a beginner, we don't want to go for Anaconda. Instead, just go through the website docs.anaconda.com/miniconda. Okay, that will be enough for us. That too will be in the order of 3 to 4 GB. Okay, so I think, I am not sure. So in that web page, if you open, you can find here a Miniconda, and here you can see download.exe installer. So it will install miniconda.exe into your machine, and as the just installation procedure to all other softwares. Okay, softwares install ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളതായിരിക്കും. Okay, don't want to worry about. Just click next towards the finish. That will install Miniconda in your machine. And if you are using Mac OS or Linux, you can switch to other tabs for downloading them, and depending on your platform, you can install the corresponding installation file. Okay, so I will be talking in Windows platform. Okay, so Miniconda you can install, and after installing Miniconda, you can experiment with your Python programming. Okay, so either by direct Python installation or Miniconda. If you install Miniconda, it will install the latest version of Python along with the Miniconda. We don't want to install in separate. Okay, so either Python or Miniconda, but remember it will consume more memory space in your machine. Okay. Then after installing Miniconda, how to get started with your programming? Okay, so it's just like how we will create different users in your machine. We need to create an environment. Okay, our working environment. Okay, so wherein we will be programming all our simple experiments in this environment. So നമ്മൾ install ചെയ്യുന്ന എല്ലാ modules ഈ environment-ലായിരിക്കും വരിക. Okay, so after installing this mini conda, okay, just we'll open it by searching mini conda on your terminal. On your search bar it will open a mini terminal on mini conda, then just click it, it will open with the mini conda, then it will be coming late terminal. Okay, like c:/ whatever your user profile. Okay, അങ്ങനെ ആയിരിക്കും അവിടെ വരിക. Okay, then you need to type in there conda, conda, then create space -n my environment. This my environment can be your name, okay, or S1 CPS, whatever you want. Okay, that can be your environment, so that next time, from the next time onwards, we'll be going to that part of the or that environment and we'll be installing our environment or our modules. നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ അവിടെ ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം അവിടെ ആയിരിക്കും നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, പ്രോഗ്രാം ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Okay, so conda create -n minus env my environment. Okay, this is just a sample. This can be anything. My environment can be anything. So we will be using, I will be using my name, Sudhir. Okay, you can use your name. Okay, just for remembering what is the environment. Okay, so after installing this, that is just a seconds only enough. Within that seconds it will create the environment with the necessary files from the environment. Okay, then how to get into that environment? To get started with your programming, we need to enter into this environment. So conda activate my environment. So first we will create the environment, then we will go into that environment. Just type in conda, it should be small letter, sorry, conda activate my environment. So if you are given here Sudhir, you have to give here Sudhir. Okay, if you are given here my experiments, okay, conda create -n my experiments, then you have to give here conda activate my experiments. Okay, so it will take into a programming. Then in the subsequent classes we will come across different modules in Python programming or different packages. Okay, so this is also important to remember. You must remember these three. 1, 2. This is one time only. Okay, no need to do every day, only at beginning of your first programming or after installation of your mini conda. Okay, then every day after restarting your machine you need to type in with the conda activate your environment. Then whenever a module or a package you need to install, the command is conda install package name. Conda install package name. Okay, so this package name, that is a generic representation. Therein, depending on your package, which package you want to work with. For example, numpy is a package, very popular or commonly used package in your Python environment. So you can install this numpy in your environment, into your environment, by typing conda install numpy, then enter. Okay, so it will download all the supporting documents and files for this numpy module into your environment. Okay, so this is the method of or a way of installing package into your machine. Okay, so these are the three commands, basic commands to get started with your Python program. Okay, then once you finished your programming, you want to quit from your environment so that others will not come and work within your environment. Just you can deactivate, conda deactivate. Okay, no need to specify which environment it is. Whatever by the active environment, that will be deactivated, and generally the conda will be in the base environment. So once you start with your conda, it will be in your base environment. Okay, so all of your programs and supporting packages will be installed into your environment, and you need to work within your environment. And once you finished your working on that environment, you need to deactivate it. Okay, so that others will come with their own environment and work on that environment. Okay, so these are the basic. After installing this mini conda and everything, about those methods we discussed in the previous slide, you need to install Jupyter Notebook, that is an editor for working with your Python program. Okay, so line by line or terminal side programming on running is not that is not the method here, but instead we will be installing an editor for working or type in your program. Okay, so the programming is, or the editor you can install by you need to install Jupyter Notebook with the command conda install Jupyter Notebook. Conda install Jupyter Notebook. Okay, Jupyter, Jupyter, not I. It is Pyter, Jupyter space Notebook. Okay, so as in the previous, so that is that package. Jupyter Notebook is a package, as we discussed in the previous slide. Whenever you want to install a package, you need to install them by giving the command conda install package name. So here Jupyter Notebook is the package name. Just to give it, enter it, it will install all the requisite for this Jupyter Notebook into your environment. Okay, so once this Jupyter Notebook is installed into your environment, you can open the Jupyter Notebook just by typing Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook, then enter, will open the Jupyter Notebook environment into that editor into a machine. Okay, so this is come up with a web page. Okay, HTTP localhost/8888/3. Okay, in your default web browser. Okay, so Jupyter, after installing this Jupyter Notebook, we can open it by Jupyter Notebook. Okay, how it is? It will be opening in your default browser. If your default browser is Chrome, it will open the Chrome, and the starting page will be localhost/. We don't want to bother it. Machine will open it and will be available to us for typing your program. Okay, so this is the procedures you need to use for working with the mini conda. Okay, and how to execute our Python codes in your machine. Okay, there are different approaches. So first method is from the command prompt. We can work with the Python programming from the command prompt. Okay, I will show you how to